Hey everyone, my name is Nathan Payne. Welcome back to another episode of Blu Ocean Crypto. So today I want to show you how to maximize your Ruby earnings while getting all the loot that you need to get those expensive upgrades done. So that means staying above 3,200 for your Rubies and then collecting millions of gold and oil so you can actually get your upgrades going. So without further ado, let's jump right in.
I want to play.
Okay, so it's important to note, get your Ruby cap, make sure you're above 3,200 on the trophies. That's the first important thing. I'm going to show you kind of how you can get back up here each day. Maybe you're in a situation like this where you've only got one builder going, two are up, you don't quite got enough resources to get your buildings going. It's really hard to get loot in the higher trophy tiers, so this is what you're going to do. You're basically going to be dropping your Mira to drop your trophies as quickly as possible to get sub 2,800. Now hold up, don't worry, because once you're down in sub 2,800, that's where you're gonna farm the loot, because the loot is good down there. And essentially what you're gonna do is once you're done farming your loot and you got your upgrades done, you're gonna search for opponents that give plus 54 trophies, because there's actually quite a few out there, and you're gonna work your way back up to 3,200. Now, I'm going to show you guys this live so you can get a sense of what's actually going on, because there is a couple ways that you can go about this. So you can see quickly here, we're just dropping our Mira, we're getting our cups down. Luckily we're getting nice minus 54s. It is going to take us a minute or two to do this, but I wanted to make sure I showed you guys live so you could see the whole process. So we're already at 31.23. We're going to have to definitely do this probably, it's basically like twice per 100. At least, but I mean, we're not getting Mira hurt. We're literally just dropping her, hitting next. That way we're not expending a troop. You don't have to do that because it would mess with your army training, and now you're going to train another guy. Just drop your Mira. This is definitely the easiest way to do it. And this is going to get us pretty close to 3,000 just on this next drop here. Only a minus 33, not as good, but honestly, I don't feel like it's worth wasting the time to try to find the best opponent to drop trophies against, because you can see just how quickly we're doing this. We're down basically 200 trophies in maybe a minute, not even. So we're just going to keep at this. Oh, there's another 36. That's okay. Plus, it can be nice for some of us boggers because we're basically giving other boggers free cups when we do this. I do know some of us out there have been spinning to find a bogger to give free cups, so kudos to you for doing that. If you're trying to be time efficient though, this is the way to do it. Kind of just jump into every battle and, drop Mira. Now, of course, there's enough boggers of us that you're going to run into a few of us anyways. Oh, there's another 35. So we're getting close. Now, I'll just go through the strategy one more time before you guys see it. What we're doing is we're up in 3,200 to make sure that we're getting the 1303 Ruby cap, which is the highest available in the game. Then we're dropping down to sub 2,800. So just below 2,800 is really all you need. Then when you're there, you're going to be searching for bases. Oh, nice, a minus 54. You're going to collect the loot that you need to get your builders going. And then once your builders are done and busy, you've got two options at that point. And by the way, this can be done without Sapphire. You do not need Sapphire to use this strategy, although it will speed it up. It's not necessary. You can wait until the next day and then look for plus 54 opponents and kind of work your way back up to 3,200 the following day while you're working on your Ruby. Or what you can do, and this is what I prefer to do, is I work my way back up before the end of the day. So basically I go down, get my loot, get my builders busy, then I go back up before the end of the day. So that way when I log on next day, I'm working on my Ruby right away. Okay, so we can see we're at 2,800. I just need to get a little bit lower because that's the sweet spot for loot right now. Maybe a minus 34 would be perfect. Minus 8. Okay, let's actually search for another base here, because that's not quite enough. Minus 54, that'll do it. Okay. So now we're in the 2,700 range. Now we're actually gonna look for some loot. Now, generally, I like anything over 400,000 at this range, but you can find some sweet 700Ks and even beyond if you take the time to search. So that's up to you. I think if you're not using Sapphire, you probably want to take the time searching for extra bases. You know, that one's not good. You are going to find people who are broke as well, you know, so you are still going to get that. You do have to spin a little bit, but the bases down here are just so much better for loot generally. So what I've been doing is, you know, might take 4 or 5 spins, sometimes a little bit longer. I'll find the 400K, I smash it, rinse and repeat. This one's not bad. It's 200K, but I'm still looking for something a little sweeter than that. And it's just so competitive right now. Everyone is ranking up so high in trophies that really it's hard to get good loot up above 3,200. Everyone's dumping everything into their walls. For some reason down here it just seems to be a little sweeter. You know, I almost thought like maybe I should have hit that 200K, but it's just not enough. You know, I really want to hit 400. Now, yes, I'm spending a little bit more time spinning, but it's well worth my time because when I find that base with good loot, I'm going to be able to get my builders going much, much faster. I'm actually kind of surprised we haven't hit one yet. Usually I get one by now, but this is a good example to kind of show, you know, you do have to spin for it. You still got to work for it a little bit. So be patient with that. Keep spinning until you find that good base. The difference is up in 3,200 plus, if you were to do this, you just simply wouldn't find a base with good loot, right? You'd be spinning, spinning, spinning. Maybe if you're lucky, you're going to find a 200K. That was generally the most I've ever been able to find up there. This is 150K gold. It's looking a little better, but still, we don't want that. You know, if I did find a 200, I'd probably hit that just because of how long it's taking right now. But even still, what we're aiming for is the 400K and higher. Oh, you know, I say it. There's the 200, but let's keep looking. That's almost like one wall if you were to combine both of it together, but yeah, we want it to be a little sweeter than that. So we'll just keep searching. I do find on average it was 4 or 5 spins. This one's taking me a little longer, probably just because I'm doing the video, but that's fine. It's good to show you guys that you still do got to work for it. It's just you are actually got to find the loot down here that you're looking for compared to being up high in 3,200. It was impossible to find it. Come on, let's give me a good one here. That's still not really what we want. I mean, considering the time of day I'm spinning right now, maybe the 200s aren't so bad. I still don't even find that above 3,200. But I know if I'm patient and take my time, I am going to find, like, look at this. Here we go. This is what we wanted. We've got 350K gold, 240K oil. Let's send it. Now, of course, if you aren't using Sapphire, that's completely fine. You don't need to do this strategy. Just stay down here, get your army cooking, get back in, rinse and repeat. You do have to be careful of your cups, though. So, like, we're going to win 8. We don't want to go back over 2,800 while we're doing this strategy. So you might have to drop it down again, kind of mid-battles, while you're working on upgrading everything. So just keep a close eye on what your loot actually is. Okay, and now just for the sake of the video, I'm going to show you how to climb back up, but I've got enough now to get 2 collectors going, so I think that's what I'm going to do for now. And we've got an oil one over here. We still got my mirror going in the lab, so now my builders are busy. You're probably going to want to stay down here and do more than one battle and work on some more important things than the collectors, but I just want to do this so we can move along here. Okay, so if you are using Sapphire, of course, this becomes much, much quicker, and please, if you don't mind, use creator code Broth if you're enjoying this content. All the proceeds that we receive go back to fund Alliance and Mavia giveaways and events. So now I want to get back up to 3,200. What do? Now I'm going to look for opponents that are plus 48 to plus 54. I mean, I can be a little picky and go for the plus 54s. and that's going to get me up real fast. So you can see +9, not worth our time. The +30s I've contemplated hitting, but even still, I feel like, you know, especially if you're not using Sapphire, you only have a limited amount of tags, you really do want to find +54s. Like that one was the opposite. That was on like bottom end, +6, -54. All right, how are we looking here? +12, no, not good enough. +6, no, still not good enough. Get some higher bases up here. Sometimes because I'm using Sapphire, like I said, I consider the +30s because I'm like, I could just hit it and then go back in. +18, that's a little better. Still not really worth our time though. You know, we've got 400 cups to climb. So that's at least 8 attacks at +54-ish, you know, so we got to be mindful of that too. And like I said, this can be done in an entire day, even without Sapphire. As long as you're logging back in, you're doing your hits consistently. You might have to do a little bit of both. I'll look at this +47. This is good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just going to send it. So if you're not using Sapphire, you might notice you fall a little short when you're trying to climb up by the end of the day. Maybe you get to 3,000, maybe you get to 3,100, but don't worry, because the next day when you're working on farming your Ruby again, you can do the same thing and still search for high trophy opponents and get back up to that 3,200 range to finish off your Ruby cap. There's nothing wrong with farming your Ruby between 3,000 and 3,200 and then just getting pushed over and kind of finishing that last little bit. So you can see now we're up to 28, 29. And this is how you do it, guys. You get up to 3,200 either at the end of the day after you're done farming the loot you need for your upgrades, or you kind of do half and half where you work on getting back up and then the next day you kind of finish. It's really this simple. This is the best way right now to be getting that max Ruby cap and also get the loot that you need to actually get your structures upgraded. So hope you guys appreciate this video. Thanks so much for being subscribed to the channel. It really helps out a lot. Do me a big favor and smash that like button so we can get this strategy and video to many more people. Mavia. See y'all in the next video. Cheers.